In the challenging journey of life, one of the most powerful sources of encouragement that we can find is placing trust in the guidance of the Lord. Whenever we face difficult decisions or challenges, remember that God is always the guide and protector for those who trust and lean on Him. Prayer is not just a form of expressing loyalty, but also a way for us to sense the favor and attention of God. As we pray, let us be careful to listen to the voice of the Lord and open our souls to receive His grace and guidance. Additionally, let us stay vigilant because God may answer our prayers not in the way we expect, but according to His consciousness and benevolent will. Waiting is an indispensable part of faith. When we trust in God and place our complete faith in His promises, we will face every challenge with unwavering faith and trust. The promises of God are always firm and reliable. Be patient, for God never forgets those who believe in Him and provides solutions at the right time. Therefore, let trust and patience be the foundation of your life. Trust in the guidance of God, pray with faith, and wait with hope that everything God promises has been and is being fulfilled according to His will. On the channel of biblical prayer, we are not just individuals seeking spiritual connection, but also individuals with the freedom to choose between good and evil. The importance lies not only in this freedom, but also in a profound awareness of the precious role of the freedom of will that God has bestowed upon us. We are not just solitary souls on the path of righteousness, but individuals with significant responsibilities regarding the freedom that God has granted. Each prayer on this channel is not just words directed towards heaven, but also an expression of the freedom of will in every supplication. God has granted us freedom of choice, and on the prayer channel, we have the opportunity to express gratitude for this precious gift. Freedom of will is not just an aspect of personal nature, but also a source of motivation for us to face difficulties and stand firm in life. Let the prayers on this channel be more than just sacred drops, but also authentic steps on the path of righteousness. In the freedom of choice, we not only express gratitude to God, but also make each supplication a living action in line with the freedom of will that He has given. This is how we, together, build a spiritual community where the freedom and will of each individual are respected and highly valued. In this context, spiritual discernment becomes incredibly crucial. The passage urges us to have the ability to distinguish between everyday challenges and the spiritual battle orchestrated by the adversary. Spiritual discernment is not just about recognizing everyday challenges, but also the ability to see subtle and spiritual dangers that the enemy is sowing. Simultaneously, the passage emphasizes the importance of maintaining faith and making righteous choices in the spiritual battle. The spiritual battle is not a gentle struggle. It demands strength and determination from participants. The world may be in darkness, but we can be light and hope if we maintain faith and make righteous choices. In life, spiritual discernment plays a vital role as a solid shield against daily challenges and the spiritual battle that the enemy may orchestrate. Recognizing the presence of spiritual depth amidst the hectic life is the key to avoiding getting lost in the abyss of challenges and temptations. Spiritual discernment helps us differentiate between minor obstacles, daily challenges that we may face, and significant spiritual challenges that the enemy attempts to sow into our souls. This battle is not just about overcoming external difficulties, but also about maintaining and protecting the purity and faith within. Every day, we face a spiritual battle where our souls are tested and evaluated. Spiritual discernment helps us understand the origins of these challenges, enabling us to confront them with strength and faith. It's not just a battle with oneself, but also a battle with unseen spiritual forces. Most importantly, spiritual discernment guides us not only in how to live, but also in how to live righteously. It serves as motivation and positive energies so that we do not get lost in the material world but can maintain our noble essence and find profound meaning in every action and decision. In conclusion, the passage challenges the reader to be vigilant about spiritual discernment and its crucial role in facing today's spiritual challenges. We cannot be overly optimistic about the complexity of the spiritual battle, but when we understand the importance of spiritual discernment, we can progress in peace and face every challenge with unwavering faith and determination. In the intricate journey of life, the need for prayer becomes increasingly important as a means for us to connect with the spiritual universe and seek help from a force greater than ourselves. Prayer is not just a form of expressing reverence and gratitude, but also a way for us to grow spiritually. In difficult times and battles before us, prayer becomes a stronghold where we can find comfort and strength. It is an opportunity for us to commune with the cosmic universe, to perceive support and strong will from the divine weapon. Spiritual maturity is not just about understanding ourselves better, but also the development of unwavering faith in the heart. This growth comes from facing challenges, learning from mistakes, and continually elevating awareness of the spiritual and ethical aspects. Prayer, in this context, is not just a ritual but also a useful tool to refresh and rejuvenate the soul. Relying on the divine weapon, we recognize the immense power of belief, faith in noble values, and the protection of benevolent forces. With this weapon, we can confidently traverse every battle in life, knowing that we are not alone and have an invisible force supporting us from within. However, sometimes, in their freedom, humans may choose a path that does not respect the will of God. This is a challenge, yet an essential part of the power of moral strength. Every decision we make, whether good or bad, is a result of this power, a precious gift that God has bestowed upon humanity. In Billy Graham's philosophy of creation, he focuses on how God created humans as moral agents with freedom. He emphasizes that God did not create us as obedient robots but as individuals capable of making decisions and choices in life. Billy Graham often reminded that God created us with a precious gift, the freedom of choice. We are not automatic robots. We are moral agents with the ability to determine our own path. God intended for us to live a meaningful life through this freedom. However, despite God's efforts to guide and prevent us from harm, the passage also emphasizes that humans can resist God's will through this special gift, the freedom of choice. Although God has set before us the right path and guidance, we still have the ability to choose our own path. This means we can resist God's will, despite all his efforts to protect us from harm. The passage concludes by respecting the freedom of choice bestowed by God, but also highlights the responsibility and consequences of using this gift. This creates a thoughtful perspective on the importance of freedom in building a meaningful life and individual responsibility. In the contemporary world, it is undeniable that society is facing significant challenges, largely due to human choices. Instead of following the principles and laws of God, many people have chosen the path of evil, creating a world filled with heartbreaking and challenging situations. The freedom given by God, though a precious gift, sometimes becomes the source of problems. Human choices to engage in evil rather than follow the guidance of the soul have led to unexpected and painful consequences. Modern society witnesses an increase in crime, injustice, and destructive actions created by human choices. While God has provided teachings and guidance to lead us on the path of righteousness, humans often stray and choose dark paths. Our free will can lead us to areas of ambiguity, where the line between right and wrong, good and evil becomes fragile. However, in these challenges, there is still an opportunity for renewal and revival. By focusing on righteous teachings, we can create a world where each person's choices not only benefit themselves but also bring happiness and peace to society. Confronting difficulties, we need to turn to high morals and values to find the path of light amid the darkness created by humanity itself. In today's world, we are facing significant challenges, not only from social and economic issues but also from the choices of individuals who choose to engage in evil rather than follow God's laws and principles. This raises an extremely important issue of spiritual discernment, an aspect that Billy Graham often emphasizes in his messages. We are facing a painful reality when people, instead of adhering to ethical principles and God's laws, choose to walk the path of evil. This creates significant challenges, not only for themselves but also for society as a whole. In this vast universe, each human is given a plot of intellectual land, a domain of the soul, where we have the freedom to choose between good and evil. This is not just a privilege but also a profound responsibility bestowed upon us by God. Free will, like a staircase connecting heaven and earth, is a source of motivation for humans to conquer the peaks of morality and seek the meaning of life. It is often said that God created us in His image and likeness. This refers not only to physical appearance but also to the symmetry of the soul. God planted in us the ability to distinguish right from wrong, the ability to choose between goodness and wickedness. Free will is not only an aspect of human nature, but also an expression of the power of the soul, an inspiration for us to become conscious and responsible individuals. In this complex world, free will acts as a guiding light, leading us through challenges and hardships. It is a profound aspect of causality, where each decision we make contributes to the larger picture of individual and communal destiny. God has given us the power of choice, not only for us to exercise freedom, but also for us to learn, grow, and shape ourselves through our actions. Therefore, free will is not just a privilege but also a significant responsibility. It is an invitation from God for us to shape our lives, build strong values, and make the world a better place through the choices of each individual. In the sermon, Freedom and Choice, Billy Graham emphasizes that free will is a precious gift bestowed upon humanity by God. He describes humans as moral agents with the freedom to choose between righteous and evil actions. He honors the power of will, placing it as the foundation for intellectual freedom and ethical choices. According to Mr. Graham, when God created humans, He gave them a special gift, the freedom to choose. This is not just freedom to do whatever we want without consequences, but freedom to choose the path of God or to steer away from evil. He emphasizes that this is a great responsibility but also an incomparable blessing. His sermon poses the question: you are a moral free agent, you have the freedom to choose. You can live a virtuous life, obeying God's word, or you can choose the path of betrayal and sin. The crucial thing is your will, a gift from God, is the key to unlocking this freedom. Highlighting that free will is not just the ability to make choices, but also the responsibility to face the consequences of one's decisions. The passage encourages readers to be aware of their significant role and responsibility in using the freedom that God has given, emphasizing that this freedom is both a privilege and an opportunity to pursue happiness and meaning in life. In the creation of humans, God has transmitted to them a precious and unique gift, the ability of moral freedom. We, as agents of ethics, are equipped with the ability to make decisions and choices in life, a spiritual part of freedom that God has wisely embedded into each of our cells. However, during the process of formation and development, humans are not merely what God intends them to be but also independent creators. Despite God's efforts to guide and prevent harm, humans retain the right to make their choices, even the ability to resist God's will. In sacred texts discussing freedom, it is not about freedom to do evil, but rather freedom to choose one's own direction. This essence of freedom is not just a challenge but also a significant responsibility. Humans are not just masters of life, but also individuals responsible for their freedom.